Derivative trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, everybody. Oops, let's do the camera. All right, and we are going to pull up the streams first. Links, let's get some links in here. Pull up Discord. I'll pull up the Restream chat. Where are you? Restream chat. Good deal. Here is the Twitch stream. And here is here's the YouTube stream. All right, so let's get into it here. Overnight, well, so first of all, yesterday the E-mini did not have the best day. So they did buy it up, as this was this move that moved up, and I really thought that it was a short. It actually did eventually come down, and it totally went down to my target too. Well, not quite to my target, because I was saying maybe 27.20, but I mean it went down. Could have made money on that. Unfortunate. Timing was off, and then a little move up into the close, but then overnight we're down again. And here you can kind of see the volatility in the treasuries. Treasuries moving higher. They moved quite a bit higher, but not into the single prints. So I believe that we could see a bit of a down day today. And I'm just kind of looking here where our risk is. If I can get 31, I'd be super happy about that. It's pretty thick. Let's get rid of the order column in here, so we're not tempted to play around with that again. Move this down. Oh yes, and turn on the squawk, of course. Good morning, Lucas. Bright and early today, I see. I'm glad Jan enjoyed the video we made about which futures product you should trade. Somebody didn't like my comment on cryptocurrencies. Let's see what they said. Okay. Well, whatever. Somebody didn't like it, but they don't matter. They didn't say anything interesting. How usually the 10-year no auction affects the markets? Should I expect a different context for today due to this? Yes, totally. So, first of all, it is Wednesday. So Wednesday is the day that we tend to see some of the best action. And I think that today could be a good one in terms of the equity markets. But when we see treasury auctions, what tends to happen is they tend to sell a little bit going into the auction. So I think you saw a lot of that on Monday. And then going right into the auction and after the auction, they tend to move up. So you can get a pretty good trade usually if you just wait for the auction and just buy it. No joke. And it might only go up for like a short little time. Like it may only go up for 20 minutes and then that's the end of that move. But that's it, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, I think you really want to watch for monster icebergs. Okay, that was an aggressive uptick. So what tends to happen is we will get to a level we'll tend to see, some sort of a trend, and then we'll get to a level and you will see 10,000, 20,000 contracts at one spot. So keep your eyes peeled, and if you see a big iceberg today, you might see a really big one, and you actually have a good chance of seeing that iceberg break. But when it does, it usually does not result in a trend. It'll probably break, go for 2 ticks, and then it'll go back to the level that it was at. Because what happens is these primary dealers that have bids out for the auction are hedging their bids, essentially. So if the yield moves far away from where they put it in at, they have themselves hedged against that interest rate change, right? And so they can put so many contracts out, like way more than the market's ever going to move through. You guys reading anything about the potential later this year for the CME to reduce the tick size in ZNZBUB like they did ZT? I haven't heard that. Have you seen a link? I heard about ZT, but I think that when they reduced the tick size in ZT, that was just a specific thing to ZT. I could be wrong about that, but I think that was just something specific to ZT. Two-year flipper was talking about it. Okay, filled. Not necessarily the most encouraging fill. So if they get past this, it's a let's see if we can find it here on Twitter for you guys. Twitter.com/2year flipper. Don't? Okay. In response to client demand and to enable greater price discovery and cost-effective execution, the minimum price increment for the 2-year note future ZT was reduced by half on January 18th. In the 3 weeks since, the average top of book spread has traded at the new minimum tick for more than 94% of the trading day during regular hours. ZT as a percentage of Treasury futures volume was 13% versus 11% in non-roll months, and ZT open interest increased 15.5%. There's a few ways to read this memo. Here are my thoughts. That the 1/8 ticks are here to stay, and changes are coming soon to a 5-year theater near you. Have more to say on this in subsequent tweets. Let's address this one at a time and read between the lines. If 94% of the top book has indeed traded, then mission accomplished, stopping overquoting, but why not go first in, first out if that was the objective? 100% of top of the book would be filled. I think that I'm going to get stopped out here, guys. 5 years will move to the K algorithm by the end of the year. Otherwise, why would they put that in the memo? The 2-year is a test tube baby for the exchange. And don't be surprised when the 10, 30, and Ultra follow suite. 2-year volume is a percentage of Treasury volume versus 2018 non-roll months is the CME cherry picking data. So the January figures are skewed. Okay. Well, the way that the 5 year is ticking, I think that this is probably a bad trade. So, okay. Guess not. Pretty an aggressive move in there. So interesting to see the treasuries trading here the way that they are. So Razor works, but oh, it is on my trading. So why is it not new? There we go. Boom. Isn't that what Tasty Trade or whatever is trying to accomplish with that new exchange? Sure. But then it's interesting, man. The thought, I have to tell you, the thought of them changing the tick size of my instrument makes me anxious. I would not be happy if they reduced the tick size of the 10 year. I'm very skeptical that they would get the same results out of doing it to the 10 year. The 5 year, maybe. They could turn the 5 year into a monster instrument like the 2 year is. You know? Yeah. How long would it take for the CME to roll out? I don't know. Okay, so there's a tick down. Oh, I wasn't necessarily wrong. Well, let's just try it here. I think that the market maker may be trying to stir the pot here so that they can do something. See, why is it so low at 31? they've changed tick sizes before and then reverted the change, like the 30-year. I B D T. Gonna be one of them days, huh? Well, the open was at 30. Oh. The CME used to be nonprofit. I didn't know that. An increasing volume every year, yeah. Well, it's hard for me to say what's going to happen here. There's a lot of volume there, obviously, at 30. And if it comes down, I think I do probably want to sell that, but I think there's a good chance that it comes back up, possibly even makes a new high, and so this at 31.5 might not be a good idea. We kind of have to just see. I want to keep my spot in line. I'm wondering if somebody is manipulating the 5-year here because they want a trade in the other, one of the other two. You notice that the 5 and the 10 came down a little bit harder than the 30-year did. Let's see what people are saying about the president's State of Union address. I did not watch the Democrat response. Apparently, it was interesting. I'll need to check that out when I get into work today. I thought their choice of Stacey Abrams was really bizarre. Probably not a good choice. Okay, so there's the uptick. Okay. Yeah, so when it gets like this, you gotta be careful. So what they can do is they can Um, if somebody's dominating all of the liquidity in here, they can pull their liquidity and tick it up and then switch and flip it down. And I believe that they do that to trick people into taking positions so that they can stop them out. Hmm. We could get a down tick here and then we'll really see what's going on. They're not in agreement either. 5-year having trouble at 18 there. There you go. And they ticked it up and it's stacked. So I think that my bias here for selling, I think, is not working out. And so there's the previous high. 5-year looks like it's going to keep going. Yeah, okay. So I close all these. So this right here, given the way that it's showing up and everything, makes me think that it is somebody hedging for the auction. Which means they have some bid at a much higher interest rate and they don't think they're getting it, and so they're buying treasuries to hedge themselves against the difference. Yeah, 10,000 now. Seeing it on the bid just below the high is unusual. And I'm surprised that they're able to get 10,000 people to sell into them. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, well, there's a little bit of a pause there now. Notice how the level 2's not behaving the same way anymore? That's curious. Like down here, it's not changing at all. I don't know. I'd say that evens level is holding pretty well. Yep. Uptick 3K. Okay, so they ticked down through 0.5, and they immediately bought more, and they put a pretty aggressive bid there, and it hasn't flipped yet, but I believe it might. No, not quite yet. The 5 years not quite on it. Look, now there's even more. Wow, 5,000. Oh my god, what the? That is crazy aggressive. And it's just sitting here. I feel like crazy right now, guys. So there was, a 4K iceberg here at 0.0 and it ticked down. There was about 2,000 or so on the offer for it to tick back up. So they bought 4,000, then they bought 2,000 here, and then they bid 4,000 on the uptick. Now that offer's not pulling away, but that is very aggressive. That is perhaps the most aggressive I've ever seen the level 2. Okay, so there's perhaps some profit taking here at 01. Oh, they took it. What's boggling my mind right now is that the level 2 is being that aggressive, and it's just kind of still actually relatively slow. But I mean, that was somebody wanted to. This down here, that was definitely some stirring the pot, and then they did eventually push it up. So they stirred the pot so that they could get a couple of contracts, and then they pushed it out, and now they're stopping some people out. They probably, I don't know if there was enough pain there at 01, so I think that they may have to push it up to the high. I don't see any like huge targets other than like the 05 way up here. By the way, note 10-year is lagging still. I closed my pen. See that? See that curve? 10-year is lagging. So they're buying it here. A spread trade of some sort. Probably. Okay, so there was a significant little drop there. And still. This is something else, guys. I'm kind of seeing a similar setup to yesterday now in equities, except for that today is Wednesday, so somebody may really, really want to make a move. Because here again, they're both going up. Okay. So there is some size on both sides of this. Because there was a 5K at 01. There is now 4K at 01 half. But given that balance, it could continue. It could continue going many times over. Okay. Well, they didn't tick through a 1/2 that time. And there was a little bit more this time in 19 in the 5-year. Let's reset it. Okay. E-mini's coming down a little bit there now. It's kind of getting quiet again. Actually, a little bit of selling. And downtick in the 5-year. That's not good. Mm. Okay. Seems like the buyers are still there. Like they were they wanted to push it up, like they bought it. Somebody stacked more, they bought it, went up. Now the 5-year ticks up almost back to what it was, right? You could stack here, not that much on at 0.5. I think if people start hitting into 0.5, it might tick up really easily this time. Like, if I was a seller right now, I would be like, what the fuck? Yeah, see that? Almost completely pulled. I mean, if it completely pulls and there's an iceberg, then that's cool, but then I'm usually like, oh, I got filled on an iceberg and I can probably get out, even if it's just +1. But having taken a sell here at the high and then having it pull on me is not necessarily something I want to see. I would rather that the size just stay on me. Okay. Price isn't completely giving up. There's a little bit of buying there in the 30-year. Okay. E-mini is starting to look a little worse. I mean, this could just be, I mean, we got to keep in mind this is probably just hedging. But even on an auction day, what's happening right here is weird. So I think that there could be some equities um, set up here as well. They are kind of selling here. There's a little bit of a, see this right here. They went through that one. And that resulted in a little bit of a decrease in cumulative deltas. So it seems like they're selling it now. Okay, well that's not holding either. A little bit of flickiness on both sides. Okay, down take. Let's see if they do it here again or not. Or do they start pulling at all 5? Oh, see, they bought it up again. And they're holding the bid when the robots come back in. Almost as if he wants more. Five years not cooperating. Not cooperating, guys. What does John here say? He has no particular bias. But to get a move to the downside, he would want to see us below the 145.20 area. And that's cool. YouTube sends you a monthly synopsis now. So it's trading back and forth here a lot at L1. I'm noting that I have that as a key level on another day as well. ES is starting to... They've been holding that for a while now. And there was a pull there at 18 3/4, but then it didn't. Look at that. You see that? It's fiddling. There's been a lot of contracts bought at 01. This is kind of look at the cumulative delta. Like we sold 10,000 contracts, right? And then we moved up and we've held this level. They're actually still buying thousands more at 01. So all of those orders that filled that are not um are not being stopped out. Doesn't mean that they didn't get out. I suppose that they had plenty of opportunity to if they sold here, I guess they're having plenty of opportunity to buy here. Which I guess could be what's going on. Or 5-year. $18.5 week ticked down. Ooh, no good. So there was a lot stacked there at 0.0.5, and it did not. There was 6K, so that was like a 5K pull. Now it has ticked back up, and they are stacking there again. Someone is definitely playing games with us this morning. Because that 0.0.5 pulled, and you would think that that would cause a little bit of chaos, and it just kind of ticked back up and put us back to where we were with not much drama at all. He's probably listening right now. He's like, Seth, stop giving it away. I need to buy more contracts. You're ruining it for me because everybody's trying to push it up against me. I know what I'll do. I'll pull all of these orders that he's expecting to hold there, and that'll freak him out. And then I can buy more. Maybe he's thinking that. Or maybe he's just thinking, ha ha ha, I can pull this and now everybody's gonna sell it. I don't know. I suppose it could go either way now at this point. The level 2 though has been I think that my original trade idea though was still intact. So I want to keep this. I mean, I don't like that there's a lot at 015 now. I don't like that they're fighting at 01. It looks like that there's a fight here at 01 now. Okay. Well, that one did not necessarily. Oh, there. Jeez. Five. Oh my gosh. You kidding me? So they pulled it down. Somebody put 6,000 on the offer. Eventually, they pushed up and they took him almost all in one clip. There was two K lots in that, and they bought it up. Holy crap, guys! You're all making me a little nervous because you're all just so quiet this morning. So probably all very focused on this. But I'm sitting here like, am I the only one seeing this? This is crazy, guys. There was a big one there in the 10-year too. Okay, so this is one I think that we got to be a little bit careful though, because remember I said you'll see like a huge iceberg, and they push through it, and then it's not necessarily a breakout. When we had the iceberg before, it was like an iceberg on the bid at the high, which is a very very good sign of strength. Um, it can lead to a reversal if it fails, but that's generally strength that somebody wants to buy that much at the highs. Now you're seeing 59.46 trade at 1.5. Now normally when I get like the interest rate lock kind of thing, it'll be more than 5,000, and it will be like at the high. But that's still a lot, so should be aware. Overall, though, I would say this is just extremely aggressive buying in treasuries. Wonder if that buying maybe might have even been some stops in there. I'm just seeing a lot of profit taking at each level, too. It looks weak. There's a big guy. There's a pretty big iceberg there. E-mini's still where it was. Hasn't ticked up or down. $500 on the offer. See, the robots now are afraid to hit it because they know that there's an iceberg there. Strong uptick again. This 025 gonna pull away? At this point, I mean, pretty high probability that we touch the high, right? I don't think I'm seeing my... Oh, okay, there's a ton up at 16. That's interesting. So even that's kind of only 268 has traded into it, but it's already pulling to 16. And there's ZB at its high already. Now this one ticked a little bit more like the way that you would expect. 5-year leading the way. Forrest says he's just waiting for a good spot. I'm afraid you might have missed it. You might still be able to get filled on bid, but I think at this point there's going to be a lot of, yeah. I don't know. Any of the sellers here in this location too have got to be feeling bad, you know? Oh, so I wonder if that was some of the stops that pushed us up there. So still quite a bit on the offer in ZF in terms of the amount trading there. The delta readings that we're getting in all of this are just crazy. I think that part of maybe why you're seeing this is because there is definitely some spread trading going on here. And if they're if they're steepening, they're buying the 5 and selling the 10, but then they're also buying the 10 and selling the 30. Except for that's not what's happening. They're actually buying the 30 and selling the 10. But that still would explain why you're getting like tons of volume here, and it's still going up. It's a spread. Oh, the E-mini did fall there. Look at that. Yeah, it still feels a bit slow to me. I would like some more back and forth action. Yeah. I don't see enough gas in the tank to break the overnight high in ZB yet. Probably not. I think that for us to break at the high in ZB, you might need to see the 10-year uptick again. They could maybe go without the 5-year, but this one breaking all on its own would be a little odd. But we've also got the E-mini did fall there. And they've kind of got some support levels now below them. And so you could see move down to 28 even at the very least is the next step down. Still getting the dry weather out here. It snowed, but the air is really dry. It snowed a lot last night, too. Okay. Another pretty solid uptick. There has been a ton of contracts each step too. Okay, so they broke a new high there in ZN really easily. I don't even know if I can take 05. So because you're seeing 3,000 to 4,000 being offered at each price, before we can uptick, this is something that I can see continuing, but it's gonna be really hard to tell when it's done. Okay. So that one's a little bit different because they pushed in it to it pretty strongly, and now they're kind of threatening to tick down. And I don't know. After all of that, I think that you would need to see something a little bit more dramatic for this to end. This is very, very thick in ZB. Okay, so they downticked at 03, and you're getting the same kind of thing that you had before, where they... No, not quite, no. Okay, that one's actually holding. ZB is super thick. I don't know about this. Okay. I am seeing. Oh my gosh. I don't know about that, guys. That is the same fucking thing. Well, maybe it's gonna give it up. Let's at least move this to here. It's coming back very quickly. Hmm. I don't know. So we had a move up and it come back, and the place that it appears to be balanced at O2 is still higher than it was before the breakout. And so I do believe there may be another push up, but it was an awfully strong move, you know? I don't know. I feel like that in order for the uptrend to end, you would need to see something much more dramatic. You know what I mean? That kind of means that if we get back up to this O3 where my order is, we still have that one. Yeah, so let's just get rid of that for now. Let's see, play it by ear. Have you ever heard of working orders? Well, I think that what you're referring to is that if you are a large buyer and you want to make stuff happen, or you want to get filled, you kind of move price around a little bit so that you can you stir the pot. What I was saying earlier, you stir the pot so that you can get people to sell into you, and that could include really big buys and sells. Because it, when I see the DOM, I see like 5,000, right? And I'm like, wow, that's so much, guys. What the heck, right? But if you have to buy 30,000, is it really that much? And like 30 to 50,000 is not unusual for a large bank to be working. And those large national funds could be hundreds of thousands. See, they're still buying a lot. They're still buying a lot on the limit. No, I wish that I had been able to get filled at O3. It came down way too fast.
Block buy.
Look at that. 3,000. Ugh. Was looking at something else and then that came through and I was like, what? Did not expect that. Good afternoon, Big Toasty. Well, it's early morning for me, but okay. So now seeing the 3 there, the O2, that's not good. That's kind of unusual, actually, I would say. Like when we see a block buy like that, they like to trade back and forth across it, but to see them put the offer there like that is still kind of weird, I think. Okay, here's the open in the E-mini. Jeez, I didn't even really realize what time it was. So I guess some of that was profit taking before the equities open, probably. Okay, so the initial impulse that I see here in the E-mini was buy, but look how slow it is. That's very slow. Okay, a little bit of volume being traded here at 2732.75. Yeah. No OTFs in the game at the moment. Well, I disagree with that because it is an auction day. Like first of all, it's an auction day. Second of all, they absorbed like 30,000 contracts on the way up with that thing. Okay. And that was some of the most aggressive level 2 and iceberging I have ever seen. So to say that this is just you know, short-term traders playing the market, I think is ridiculous. Personally. That's just my take. Now it did come back totally back to where it was, but that could just mean that the person that was buying got filled and is done. You know? But I mean, come fucking on. Short-term trader doing a 10,000 10,000 contract iceberg buy at the regular session high. And that's a short-term trader. Give me a fucking break, dude. Obviously, we don't really know, and there's no way for me to know. but that still just sounds ridiculous to me. They are pushing some highs there in the E-mini, actually. You're still seeing the buyer, though. There are always buyers and sellers. There's not just one. Well, that's true. I think, though, that a lot of what's going on is it appears to me, just based on when I watch the orders come in between the instruments, there appears to be some very significant spreading. And so I think that that's a big part of why we're seeing so much iceberging in volume. That was pretty crazy. Sell. And it's still holding at 0.15. So it's giving like the same signal that we had before. Mm. Okay, so the mini pushed up. It pulled back a little bit. We'll see if they push up again or if the sellers decide to take it here. You are seeing a little bit of a volume note at 27.34. But given the way that the treasuries are trading at the moment, so they take it again. No, actually that was a sell, wasn't it? Yes. Not incredibly strong. And making it look weak at 0.15. Lots of bubbles there in the mini. Okay. So there was a little bit more of an extended sell in the E-mini. Made us tick up. A clue that at least some of what we're seeing is related to equities. Mm. So they came down pretty solidly in price, but not in cumulative delta in equities. You're getting all sorts of pulling over here, though. Like now they're pushing a little bit harder in the E-mini. Kind of got a little bit of a liquidity vacuum there, though. Yeah, the 5-year pulling like they want to go up again. Strong uptick in the 5-year. Okay, there's the 30-year goes with it. And some. Okay, now the E-mini is pushing the new lows, new swing lows. And here, there's quite a bit of volume to come out, so I think that the E-mini is going to go quite a bit lower. And now you are also below the yesterday's close in equities. I'm not seeing a lot of flickering over here. I don't know what to say here. Okay. I did click on my order and change the volume setting, but it's still not showing up. So when you place the order, it doesn't show up? Oh, as far as the volume stops, do I have to go to settings and change things in order to set it up? Oh, well, so the way that you set it is like when you bring up your little, like if you press the $ button and you bring this over here and you see where it says SV, that's where you put the number in. And then when you put that in, all of the stops that you put in there will automatically have that amount. And if you put a stop limit, it will have that amount. That's where you do it. You can also set up, like in the strategies, you can set them up to do that. But, okay, what happened there? Oh, the 5-year tick down. Yes, that's why I can't buy yet. It doesn't feel right. When I see 9K print, I expect a larger battle. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, what does Swiss say? Poor height indicates an unfinished auction, which, in other words, requires a price revisit to the zones to complete the auction. It can be identified at the higher level of the market portfolio zones with two or more TPOs wider. The more TPOs are wider, higher the odds that such price zone will be revisited faster. Short-term players are liquidating longs and getting into shorts as they believe the market is too long. Yes. Well, I see that. And I do see, was it a, I don't know. So it was unfinished up here at the top for sure. By the way, I was thinking I could maybe buy it at 01. That's why I was doing that. Yeah. Well, I kind of see that. That's why my take has been that I think that we're really likely to shoot for the highs again. Like that equities could break the overnight low and then just careen lower, and that would push us up to highs. And it just feels to me like somebody really, really wanted to buy it. But the way that it came back there, because I mean, really, there was 2, 5, and then I think at the O2 when it came back, I could be wrong, but I think when it came back there the first time, that there was actually a 3 to 5K at 20 as well. Oh, and remember there was the block buy at 20. So we kind of, if that was a guy getting into a position, he is probably close to his limit. So when it came up there and the way that it came back, that kind of comeback kind of feels to me like short-term traders. You know, the short-term traders were completely responsible for the move, and so when they all get out, it comes back to where it was. Except that it did stay one tick higher. Has stayed. This evens hasn't gone yet. That was where this whole drama started, really. Okay, so they're trading a lot more now that the E-mini is trading up again. So if sellers stall out here, ooh, and it is big. It is a lot in cumulative delta. Ooh boy. I mean, it could be the case that there was a big guy. He really wanted to buy it. It was super obvious, and we all saw it. And so when he got filled up at the top, there was still a lot of traders, and all of a sudden they realized that like it was over, and so that's why it came back so much. I guess. I mean, it was a combination of them, right? But you can definitely see the way that they reacted here in the treasuries when the E-mini started pushing up. And they've made a new cumulative delta high, and they're not even close to a high in price. By the way, the ZB did come back quite a bit on that. More than the 10-year did. The spread moved up like a tick or two. Okay, so that was the buy. They're eyeing high of the day. I think they might get it. So it's here, it's slow. It's not doing like a clear reversal thing, but it is slow, so it might reverse. They're awfully close to the high, and there was a lot of buying on that move up. Okay. Okay. So the tick up in the 10-year wasn't super great, but it looked pretty good in the 5 and the 30. The way that this is behaving, I'm not really seeing a really strong desire to push price one direction or another into the treasuries anymore. It looks like they are more subject to the whims of which way the E-mini is ticking. Hmm. No. Yes, so also talking about this buy area that was below us, like 145.24 from yesterday, which we did touch the point of control today. Like that move down at the very beginning was like right there. Oh, that's in ZB. That's 24 in ZB. Where is it in ZN? We didn't get there in ZN. It would be at 27.5. But the thing is that today, although it's not, I mean, it hasn't filled out yet, but today we're getting a P-shaped profile too. Yeah, I mean, I don't even necessarily have to look at the volume profile to tell you that, right? We can just tell from the order flow that there's been, yesterday there was really strong trend up, and today there has been really strong trend up. I mean, the thing that's weird to me is that yesterday there was such strong trend. I was really quite in disbelief for a lot of it, and I wasn't able to catch a good position until the very end when they did a real breakout higher, you know? The E-mini never sold down to keep it going. Today, you're seeing trend almost as strong. Well, it didn't have quite the momentum that it did yesterday. Yesterday, it just ticked up and it never stopped. Today, a little bit more fidgety and it's slow and it takes them a while to tick it up. So I would say strong buying, but not as strong momentum. But the pressure in the level two and the volume and the things that they're doing to make it tick up are just much more extreme. I thought that that would mean that if we did move up, which we did, that when the peak happened, that it would be a really dramatic peak and that there would be a lot of stops and stuff. But it wasn't. It just kind of like it stopped and it came back down. I think that that means a high probability, like we were saying earlier. I think that means there's a high probability of coming back up here. But it's dependent. I believe it's dependent on the E-mini at the moment. Like the way that the price action indicates to me at the moment that the E-mini is in charge here, and that for Treasuries to go back up and revisit that single print and possibly move higher. And I mean, really, there was like a huge. Well, you can't. It's too far away now, but there was a huge iceberg at 16. Well, not iceberg. There was a huge order at 16. Okay, so there's O half, and there's a buy iceberg there too. And I'm not quite sure what changed there to prompt that. It seemed like there was a lot of buying in the E-mini here. I can see it in the cumulative delta. I can't see it on the DOM. So these sorts of things, this is where I think you have to be suspicious. The E-mini was pushing down, and O half looks weak. Not a lot is traded into it. That could be an indication that somebody wants fills at 05. Okay, they traded through it without any real effort. So that kind of destroys that theory. And given how much was stacked there earlier, it is quite surprising to see that there wasn't more traded there, but we did see some icebergs here, didn't we? Jeez, E-mini just very range bound at the moment. Okay. There was a good set of downticks there. And they busted through a pretty big buy order too. I guess I keep saying a lot of things that are like in favor of it moving back up here, but I think that the one thing that makes me nervous, like why I'm not putting on 2 contracts, for instance, is that in order for us to move up here, I really think you're going to need to see a real sell in the E-mini. Maybe we're getting it right here, but I think you would need to see a real sell in the E-mini. And anytime that I'm really waiting on the E-mini for my trade to really move us over here in Treasuries, that's usually not a good trade. Okay. Well, that time of the 0500 halves held. There's a little bit of liquidity right here at around 27.31. And get through that. Let's see. There's definitely some support there. Okay. So they pushed through that, and now they're showing some size at 27.30.25. The 5-year is starting to look like up pressure a little bit again. Be objective and not subjective. In trading, though, everything is a little bit subjective, isn't it? Okay, so there's more selling. They're hitting into that big order now. Yeah, now they're hitting a new low, new swing low. There, right there. So that is extremely negative. Okay, but there is some 1000s here now. And Treasuries not reacting. Okay. And that time they reacted. I'm thinking about putting a second one on. I think I'd like to see a little bit more hitting into 015 first before I see if I can get a fill like that. UB is flashing size on the offer. Oh, you know what? We need to like go and change this one too. There are some big ones up above us. Okay. It's tough. That sucks that I had +7 ticks and that I was not able to get the high there in that. Okay. So that was an interesting down tick. You're getting a really big bubble here in ES. Ew. Big offer now at 01. Yeah, that would be a reliable signal for a short term um, pullback in the ES. That must be why they're doing that. Hmm. Hmm. This bid at oh 05, they're holding two, even though a little bit hit into it. I'm not seeing the 5-year do the same thing. 5-year could tick down here. I mean, I do think that the E-mini is gonna pull back here. But the problem is even if it pulls back, it might not actually tick down in the treasuries. Okay, so a flip there in the level 2 now. That was like the pullback, and now sellers are pushing again in the E-mini. That was a little awfully fast for that to be happening. Now flip and now flip back. Yeah, I think that I'm going to get rid of this. Well, the 0 half has not been able to go offer and stay offer. I do think, though, because we saw that bubble, the E-mini is probably going to come back a little bit more than it has. Well, we might get an 8 o'clock trade, so let's just stay patient. Hmm. Okay, so you're getting okay upticks at 01 now. They're not. It's not clear. Probability is too low to be trading this. The E-mini is kind of making threats to go either way at this spot. So it's kind of turning into the meat grinder. Yeah, what do we got here? Yes. Yes, I see a lot of distribution. It is kind of a piece-shaped profile, but I'm seeing a lot of distribution here. Oh, of course. Of course, now you go up. Well, that is not a new low. That is. You guys hear this spelling practice here in the background? Oh, fully closed fill here. Well, there did push lower. I think we could see the low of the session. Yeah, let's buy that right there. Hmm. Where did I take my trade off? 01. It was 02. Not quite the lows of session yet. Took profits way too early, was short from 27.33 and closed after 3 points. Oh man, dude. What's up? Oh, they just need paper.
I have to go and you have to take the kids in about 10 minutes.
Oh yes, that's right. Well, hopefully we get this thing here in a second. They're all ready to go though?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. When are you gonna be back tonight? Ah, look, it got filled. Yeah, it always sucks when you take the profit too early, doesn't it, shredding? Come on, they're gonna do it. Show me that low. Yeah, it's so close, it's so close. The little equity index that could. Come on. Yay. There, that wasn't so hard, was it? I doubt everything that's happening and it's hard to get in and out. Boy, that is the worst, dude. Yeah. It's all good though. Normally I'd hop back in and trade too quickly after it and get burned. Gonna sit out for a bit. Yeah, well, that kind of happened to me down here, didn't it? Like I was like, hey, I don't like this, so I'm gonna get out. And then what did it do? It ticked up. I could have still had the one contract from '01. That would have been awesome, right? Interestingly enough, I'm not getting filled at '02. Cool. Okay. So if I can get the high before I have to go, that would make me super happy. Nope. I'll take one off here. Actually. There's some support at 27.22. See, this is what I was afraid of. I think that I'm going to get filled at '02 still. Good. But, okay. But I wanted to buy it a 1/2. If I can. Now you're coming into some resistance from the way down. In ES. Yeah, it sucks to sit down to game with only billionaires playing. Ah! Well, I'd have to say it's unfortunate that I was only able to get 2 ticks out of that winner that went much further than that. But count your blessings. We're still positive on the day. I don't like those first two trades where I was going short. Those are a little disappointing. Big players showing good poker faces today. Fills are being quite frustrating today, I'd say. Very frustrating. I don't know. 5-10 minutes. We'll see. I don't think that's gonna fill. I don't think that's gonna fill. I do like my call in the E-mini. Wish I had done what I had done yesterday today, but you know, whatever. See, they're threatening new lows again already. Like the pullbacks that you're getting off of this are super tight. No, it's gonna go without filling me. It's 680 traded there, and it would have to be 1400 to fill me. And they're possibly going to break a new low, and the offer is pulling. Well, they didn't just like a go. Maybe they just survived there. I don't know. Well, what else we got here? There it goes. Yep, no fill. Well, I don't like the way that just happened. I don't like that. Nope. And I'm actually at the back of the queue because they all just pulled. So I guess that's it for me today. +2. Oh, there's a lot of snow. Yes, there is. Okay, well, sorry guys. I guess I better post my cryptocurrency notes. Um, to crown. By the way, have you guys? So I like to follow the video games, right? And a lot of people with an interest in markets have been really interested in all of this success of Fortnite. I think that this week they peaked because this new Apex game comes out, and they're already up at the top, and they had 600,000 concurrent players at one point. And I played it last night. It's a pretty good game. I'm not like super into the battle royale thing, but I would enjoyed it. It was a fun game. Yeah, see there. So I would have gotten filled and it go right against me. You don't when you have an order in and it like ticks up and then it comes back. And when it comes back, it pulls and you find out that you're at the back of the queue. That's not a good sign. That means that there is not as much buy side supply there as the market thinks, and they're going to sell through it to see what happens. You don't want to be in that. Plus, they failed to make a new low there, and sure enough, the Unity's moving up. So maybe there could be some more in there. I don't know. I do think there's a good chance that we go up to the high, but anyways, this new game, I think it replaces Fortnite. Um, maybe tonight when I come back, I will post like a user ID if anybody wants to play. Anyways, so I'm gonna go post the notes. You guys post your comments. I would love to hear all of your gripes about how difficult trading was today, because I say it was a difficult day. Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna go and do that right now, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay. Well, I don't really see a whole lot of comments here. So it's 8:30. I gotta go take the kids to school. I hope you guys had a good day. I'm already hearing a couple of you guys saying that it was difficult. So I only pulled two out of it. It was a hard trade. But you know what? There's still tomorrow. There's still Friday. And next week that we could have some good stuff. We should get inflation numbers and stuff. So yeah, I think that we still got some good trading ahead of us in the near future. Yeah, in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.